Welcome back, Real Chip TV, Chip Chatter. I'm your host, Stephen Ellman, here with Tom Aresco. Going to be breaking down a little bit of the Week 1 loss. A lot of you guys sent in some questions, the aftermath of the disaster that was the Monday Night Football game. While we lost, Real Chip Squad, our fantasy team, looking strong.
Yeah, looking pretty good, guys. You might want to start sending those trades for some running backs, because I'm telling you what, we got a ton of.
We got studs sitting on our bench. So you guys need to make a trade.
Mariota, oof. Justin Bradley. We don't need Bradford. You know, he'll have a good year, but we got Mariota, the Titan, rocking in.
And at Norbs11INZ. Sorry, buddy, we ripped you apart this week. Go give that guy a follow. He needs some love.
Hit the waiver wire and figure it out. And congrats to all the other teams that won. Jason Arcdeacon, he scored most in the league. Big victory for him. I think he had Gronk, and I don't know, maybe he had Gronk and Brady, something. He has a nice team. I got to relook. I'm in a couple leagues, but all I do is set my lineup to what it is, and perfection. We got the win.
Got the win.
And that's it.
Yeah, we had the win. We had the win for
we had to win
Eagles.
something.
Did it for the Eagles. So let's dive into the question, shall we? First one, at Zerk Electronica.
These are all new fans for us. So
these
we
are
really
a
want to
lot
welcome
of
you
new
guys.
handles.
Thank you.
I'm having trouble reading them. That's why I can barely read. So
we love it.
How well do you think the Eagles defense will do against Dallas without Dez?
I think the Eagles defense obviously has a better chance to succeed against Dallas without Dez. They asked Chip today, what would you rather have? He said that it was a little confusing because he doesn't know now what they're going to do, because you know Dez, what he's going to do, what he's capable of. And they said, what would you rather have? A little better what they're going to do with Dez, or have to figure it out a little more and be missing Dez? And he said probably the latter. He's pretty good if you haven't seen him play, So I think without Dez, they have a better chance of succeeding. Now, will they play well? I mean, Romo's still a heck of a quarterback, so we'll have to see.
It's got to be a little better. They got to make adjustments,
which
they failed to do last week. Next question, at mgomes_10. Do the Eagles focus more on stopping the Cowboys' run game or pass game?
I would say stopping the pass is always something you have to be aware of, especially after what happened. And stopping the pass is every level of pass rush. They have to hit home. Dallas is a pretty good offensive line, if you haven't heard. Because I know everyone's heard the best offensive line history of the NFL, so you can't act like you haven't heard about the line. But no, they're pretty good. A little hyped, but they're a good team. And you have to stop their pass game. That's the lethal weapon. But you also have to pay attention to that run game too.
Yeah, no, I think you got to get stop the pass game, but you got to trust our front seven to play a little better. They played better in the second half, so we'll see. At Guillermo Valentine asks, I hope I got the accent right on that one. Do you expect DeMarco Murray to run more than he did it against Atlanta? Boy, he better.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's really all that needs to be said. I mean, we can only hope. Because you got to get that guy rolling. You saw what he did, and you saw what the other guys did. You got to get all three of them rolling.
16 carries. 16 rushes to 15 pass plays.
Check out his Rant video.
Yeah,
I posted
it. I let him have it.
He posted it last night. So.
At Hi on Bugs asked, will Byron Maxwell improve this week and play like a top 8 quarterback? Sorry, that's a funny handle.
Hi on Bugs. Okay. Byron Maxwell. I mean, he's got to improve some things, but he can get some help when you're on an elite receiver, which we won't be this week, but. Every corner gets beat in the NFL, especially when the quarterback has a lot of time to throw the ball. And I think the coaches need to adjust a little and put him in a better situation to succeed. They paid him a lot of money, and now they're using him in a way that's going to get him exposed. And I don't think that's right. And not that he didn't have a bad game, he did. But I mean, who's going to cover a receiver on an island for as long as he could? I mean, you can't. It's so hard, and that's what's going to get us messed up. He's got to get better in his technique. Get his hands on the receivers and not have that tentativeness that it looked like he kind of had. But I mean, other than that, I think he could definitely he could start to perform. He has to turn it around.
Yeah. I thought the Eagles looked very timid in the first half. Whole perspective, they all looked timid, and they didn't make any adjustments. They kind of left him out. I mean, you tried covering. We couldn't cover Julio Jones for 0.1 seconds.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, he's being left on there for like 4 or 5 seconds because they're just not getting to Matt Ryan. Or I'm angry, Matthew. Depends how I feel.
Matthew Ryan,
so angry. All right, at Willie Weigel, is Sam Bradford angry at his offensive line right now?
I had to edit it and censor it. I'm going to say it anyway. He really asked, is Sam Bradford pissed at his offensive line? And honestly, from that first half, I would have been. Guy was on the ground, but apparently Sam gave a nice speech.
I heard.
He gave a nice speech in the locker room, told his guys it's time to start making plays, and it's all of us, not just a couple of us. And everyone was kind of taken back by that. He's a new guy, and he comes in and he grabs him, the bull by the horns there. And I think pissed isn't really the right word, or angry, but I think it's, he just sees the potential in him, and he knows that they can play better. So.
And a few hours before that story came out, Sal Powell was like kind of ripping him a little bit, taking shots at his leadership, the whole look in the hands kind of thing.
I don't know why that matters. I've seen Brady lick his hands in Super Bowl wins, so I don't know what you're talking about there, Sal Powell. And Jaw is actually who I don't really like too much. I'll keep that a little, on the line. I'm not always in agreement with him. It's not that I don't like him, but he stuck up for Bradford and said, I don't know what Sal Powell was talking about when he said that, because he looked really good. And Colin Cowherd, who answered me on Twitter, by the way, which was
that
a
tweet
personal
was
goal,
awesome.
Personal goal of mine. He said the Cowboys are going to get smoked next week, and he said it's time. And he said write it down. And I quoted him, and he answered me back and said it's time to get a pen and paper out. So let's go.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you, Colin Cowherd. That was hilarious. Next question at Joffrey1 asks, where's Shady? Literally, figuratively, I guess.
Getting 17 carries and not doing much, but hey, he's 1-0, and that's really what matters. That defense played great. That was a great hire, Rex Ryan. I really like that. So whether Shady does his thing or not, he's still getting paid. He's right now he's probably somewhere getting cash money and getting a new Bentley or something, but maybe making another invite to another big party. But yeah,
still holding that football like a loaf of bread too. So that's nice to see. At JRG_DC5 asks, will the pass rush be there?
I hope so. I had to think about that for a second, because you think about the other night and you were wondering where's the pass rush, but you know what? I'll tell you what, we're getting the ultimate weapon back, Marcus Smith. Man, you gotta laugh at that, but you gotta hope Connor Barwin, Brandon Grant. And, hopefully we get some home cooking, because we got burned last week. Benny Logan got through every time and got tackled by an offensive lineman and no calls. So I hope it's a combination of us getting a little more fortunate on that end, and also our pass rush playing a little better early in the game.
Our guys were getting mugged out there in that offensive line. Our defensive line, I'm sorry. That was atrocious. Their offensive line holding like crazy. So we'll see. At Matt Gator Becker 18 asks, who do you think will cover Terrence Williams?
I think if they line, since they don't have Dez, he normally will play one side of the field. I think they'll line Terrence Williams up in multiple positions just because he has that type of cross training, and like Dez has probably mastered the outside receiver. Terrence Williams can move around a little bit, so it'll be a combination of guys. I just hope that he's a deep threat, so I hope they are more aware of guys that was being our biggest problem, and the fact that carried over in the Atlanta game is unacceptable. It didn't show in preseason whatsoever, and you have to just prevent the big play, because that's a backbreaker, and that's what killed us against Atlanta.
Yeah, totally agree. At Mac Young 21 asks, will Nelson Aguilar get more targets against the Dallas defense?
It's tough to say. It's, again, like we talked about, if he's open, he gets the ball. And I think he will get more comfortable as the season goes on. He'll get open more. So it's not really just against Dallas. It's going forward. He's just going to keep on getting more and more involved. And I think the fact that the offense started slow doesn't bode well for a rookie. I think if they start quick, fast, and establish some playmakers, establish that run, people will forget about number 17, and he'll burn them on some play action or something.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're running the ball. So we'll see. Run the set to pass? I don't know. It seems to work. I don't know, but what do I know? At Nate That Dorley asks, is Sam Bradford win comeback player of the year?
I want to say yes. The performance he put on it. He didn't. This was Colin Cowherd's point. I agree with it. He didn't play football in 2 years. He comes out and he's got us. We get burnt in the first half on every count, And in the second half, the guy comes back and he leads some crazy comeback from 17 down, 3 scores that look like he's been playing in the league forever. Mm-hmm. And they go ahead in the fourth quarter, and it's like, Colin Cowherd said, I don't care if they lost. This is a good football team. They're a good football team, and you can see that. So I think that a lot to be taken away from the Atlanta game is negative and things to work on, but I think this team thrives off learning and getting better, and I don't think they're going to quit. And I think Bradford, he took some hits, and I think he can withstand it, and they'll protect him, and they'll get better as the year goes on, just like they got better as the game went on in the Atlanta game. And ultimately, we're going to lose the Super Bowl because Cody Park is going to miss a field goal.
God. Yeah, I think people forget that he rallied from a 17-point deficit.
Yeah.
Then Falcons take the lead, gets him back in position to win the game, and Cody Park, he just misses the game. So
Sam had his chances, but you get yourself in a hole like that, you only can take a positive of them improving in the second half as the season went on, and who knows what happens from here on out. But that was encouraging that you had a quarterback that hasn't played in 2 years, mm-hmm. and he wasn't happy that they lost, but I bet he was happy after the game that he said when they took the lead in the fourth quarter, that was the most fun he's had in 2 years.
That's awesome.
And I can't wait for him to get his first win. It's going to be crazy. And his first big game when he just wins like offensive player of the week or something, just goes off, because it's going to happen. You see the talent, so I think comeback player of the year is very within reach.
I love the emotion that he shows out there. He's so into it. Like, he's just so hype. I love it.
So we're going to go to Twitter. Our friend M. Christie21, Mike Christie, he's asking, what will be the Eagles' biggest challenge to overcome against the Cowboys to ensure a victory?
Well, I love the wedding, Mike. Congratulations for getting married. I was in the wedding. He just got married, and his whole family. The best part about it, honestly, obviously the wedding is a great accomplishment, but all Eagles fans. And his wife's family, all Eagles fans.
All right, that's good.
We come out, the groomsmen come out and do an intro, and one of his cousins did an Eagles chant to the whole reception of like 200 people, and they all went nuts. So it was awesome.
That's great.
However, Mike's a bit, if you know the history, is a bit of a, he's a wait and see kind of guy, which I admire. He's not a hype fan like me. I get a little too excited, but nonetheless, one of the biggest obstacles, or a couple of the biggest obstacles they have to overcome, would obviously be, to get that win, you gotta start quicker, and that's what I've been preaching the whole time since the loss, is that you can't bury yourself in a hole. So you have to start fast, especially at home in front of the crowd. You got to start fast, and you got to get on a roll, because once that happens, our defense is rolling, our offense is rolling, we're knocking Dallas off their mark, and we're on our stride. You take advantage, and I think that that's really the key to victory in any game, is just playing 4 quarters and playing hard and doing what you do best.
Yeah, no, let's play a full game. Basically, you got to play the full game, start to finish, all 60 minutes. Last question, at Mateo Miller, will the Eagles win?
I do. I have the Eagles quite a bit this season, but I have them in this one. After a loss, another thing me and Mike talked about a lot was the Vegas odds, and the Vegas line did not really look like an Eagles line. They were only favored by 2.5 over Atlanta, and that's a genius play by Vegas, because if we do even end up winning on a field goal there at the end, Vegas still wins because they didn't cover the spread.
Yeah.
So
those lines, man,
they're right on the money. It's crazy,
on.
but right now we're 5.5 favorite, which is lending to an Eagles victory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always get confused in the lines and how to read them, but apparently that's really good for the Eagles, and it might even go up higher to 6.5. So apparently this is like a guaranteed win from a lot of people, and that's not what I believe in. Honestly, I think anything can happen, but I think we win. I do believe in a little bit of an ebb and a flow in the NFL. I've seen it for as long as I've been watching it. Teams coming off a win versus a team coming off a loss, and it looks like they're around the same skill level. And I don't know. It's we did beat the Colts last year and send them to 0-2 in week 2, and we went to 2-0. So I mean, anything's possible. It's not. I don't really believe in all the voodoo stuff, but I do have the Eagles win, and it just feels like it. I just feel it. So I'm nervous, but
yes, I think they're going to win Mateo. They're going to come out. They're going to come out swinging. I know that they're pissed off, and they're going to just go out there and just go get it.
I think they are too. Yeah. My final score, if we're doing predictions for it, I'm going to say 30-19.
30-19. I'll go 38 to 24. 38-24
I'm
Eagles.
hoping to see 38 points.
No, they're going to put them up.
Player of the game,
Sam Bradford.
Sam
There's too
Bradford.
many Sams.
Sam
You
Bradford.
agree on that one?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Sam Bradford going off on Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.